I'm taking your wife whether you like it or not. Those words have echoed in my skull for 32 years. My brother Derek's face inches from mine, his breath hot against my cheek, his forearm pressed across my throat hard enough to make stars dance at the edges of my vision. The bedroom where we'd grown up, where I'd read him stories when he was scared of thunderstorms, where I'd helped him with his homework, where I'd covered for him 1,000 times when he snuck out to meet girls, had become the stage for the ultimate betrayal. She's always been too good for a pathetic loser like you, he continued, and I could see in his eyes that he meant every syllable. I was 31 years old. Married for 3 years. Working 60-hour weeks at a mid-level accounting firm while Derek, 3 years my junior, had been finding himself for the better part of a decade. My wife Vanessa had been spending a suspicious amount of time helping Derek get back on his feet after his latest business venture collapsed. I'd trusted her. Trusted him. The fool I was. When I tried to push back, tried to shove him off me, Derek just laughed. Not a nervous laugh or even an angry one, a genuine, amused laugh, like I'd told him a particularly good joke. See? Can't even fight back against your younger brother. A true weakling. He released my throat just long enough to grab my shirt collar with both hands. That's why your wife needs a real man like me. The stairs were behind us. 14 steps leading down to the main floor of our parents' house, where the whole family had gathered for my father's 60th birthday party. Where Vanessa was waiting. Where everyone was waiting. Derek's shove sent me backward through the doorway. My heel caught the top step. The world became a spinning kaleidoscope of ceiling, wall, railing, more ceiling. I counted each impact, shoulder on step 4, hip on step 7, my head glancing off the banister at step 9. By the time I landed in a heap at the bottom, my vision was swimming and my left arm was bent at an angle that didn't look right. I looked up through blurred eyes and saw her. Vanessa. Standing in the archway between the living room and the foyer, one hand pressed delicately to her lips. Behind her, I could see my mother's horrified face, my father frozen mid-step with a glass of wine in his hand. But Vanessa, my wife, the woman I'd vowed to love and protect, did nothing. She didn't scream. Didn't rush to help me. Didn't even call out Derek's name in shock. She just stood there, and in that moment of crystalline pain and clarity, I saw something in her eyes that I'd been too blind to notice before. Relief. Maybe even satisfaction. I picked myself up. My arm screamed in protest. Something warm was trickling down the side of my face, blood from where I'd hit the banister. The room was silent except for my ragged breathing. Marcus. My mother finally broke the spell, rushing toward me. Oh my word, what happened? Derek appeared at the top of the stairs, his expression arranged into something approximating concern. He tripped, he said, descending slowly. I tried to catch him, but he just went down. You know how clumsy Marcus has always been. I looked at Vanessa. She nodded, almost imperceptibly. That's not, I started. You should sit down, Vanessa interrupted, moving toward me with arms outstretched. You look confused. You probably have a concussion. The gaslighting. The coordination between them. The casual, practiced way they'd already aligned their story. This wasn't spontaneous. They'd been planning this for a long time, long enough to prepare for the moment I discovered them, long enough to know exactly how to spin it. I stepped back from Vanessa's reaching hands. Looked at Derek, who wore the faintest smirk. Looked at my father, who seemed uncertain what to believe. Looked at my mother, whose concern had shifted to confusion as she glanced between her sons. Goodbye, I said. I walked out the front door of my childhood home. Got in my car with a broken arm and blood dripping onto my collar. Drove myself to the emergency room. Called a divorce lawyer from the hospital bed. And I never spoke to any of them again. That was 32 years ago. I was 31 then. I'm 63 now. The life I built after that night surprised even me. Not immediately, the first few years were brutal. The divorce was contested, despite what should have been obvious grounds. Vanessa claimed I'd become mentally unstable and paranoid, that there was nothing between her and Derek, that I'd thrown myself down those stairs in a bid for attention and sympathy. My own brother testified against me in court, describing a history of erratic behavior and violent episodes that existed only in his imagination. They took everything. The house we'd bought together. The car. Most of our savings. The only thing the judge gave me was my freedom, and even that came with the stipulation that I seek professional help for my supposed psychological issues. I moved to Portland.